everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Deal Hound Club where you can actually make some money today. These are deals that are coming and going, the best deals that I can find on Facebook Marketplace. You be the judge, watch them, let me know what you think, if I'm correct or not. These are going over some of the ones that we watched last episode. Actually, looks like hardly any of them have moved. So, surprising the element's still there. I knew the GTO would sell. We talked about the Bronco last episode that it would sell. Let's see here. What else we got? Surprised the Shelby's still here. Mustang. I'm surprised the Mustang's still here. That Napco is pending, which we talked about. These, I'm telling you, these Napcos are just, I don't know, they're going crazy money right now. A few of them have gone through Barrett Jackson auction, and they have just brought in some big money. And people are on the hunt for them. But this one is especially clean, guys. This one was especially clean. Look at that. Look at that. That was just a clean, hardly any dents, very complete. Anyway, 22,000. I thought there was some room to be making some money on that one, and obviously it's sold or pending right now. So I believe we're here. No, I think we hit these. I think we're here actually. Unusual vehicles. Actually, I saved a couple of these, and these are just some unusual vehicles. I just want to go over a couple of unique ones. So let's go over this Hudson, 49 Huts. You don't see many of these this complete and this straight. Look at that. That one's a really straight, pretty rust-free car. It's got the inline 6, flathead 6. Yeah, it says it needs a clutch, but it does run. So wouldn't take much to get this one to be a running, driving car. I think there's money to be made on this one. Putting a clutch in it, I think it'd be worth probably $7,500 to $8,500. And I don't think it'd be that hard to put a clutch in it. So, yeah, I think there's definitely money to be made. All original. You probably have to rebuild the carburetor, maybe clean up the fuel system a little bit. And he's down to $5,000. You may be able to get it for $4,500. But yeah, I think on the high end you can get 85 for it, running and driving. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, guys, these things are ugly. I just watched a whole episode on these on Jay Leno's garage, and they're kind of unique. Actually, go if you're at all interested in these, go watch Jay Leno garage. It was pretty cool. This one is a 60 model, which I think the dash on these 60 models looks a whole lot better than the one Jay Leno has. I think Jay Leno's is a 58. But I love these individual gauges here, the pods like this. In my opinion, that looks a lot better than the 58 model, which is the one he has. Headliner needs some repair. Dash looks like it needs fixed. But in all fairness, I still think it's low for a running, driving, classic two-door. This is a two-door, not a four-door. And these are getting pretty hard to find. The motor has been rebuilt. There's been a ton of stuff that's done to this. I mean, he's got a ton of work done to this. You can go over this if you want. And 72,000 original miles, it says. And yeah, but it is a nice, clean two-door with very little rust or any. I can't remember. There may be no rust on this one. But just look at the uniqueness of this thing, guys. I mean, talk about a sled. Oh, there was a little bit of damage here. Yep, I do remember that. Okay, so there was a little bit of damage in the front, but not much at all. I still think it's a great survivor, guys. And I think he's fair. I think you could probably talk him down because it's been on there for 3 weeks. I bet you could get this for 8. And I know I've never looked at these cars, guys. I have always just bypassed them. Like, these things are ugly as sin. He's already redone the fuel system. That's right on this one. It's already got a new tank in it, new fuel lines. Probably want to get that picked up and not let that hang so low. But yeah, look at this. I mean, it is just rust free, guys. This is a good, clean Survivor. I don't know why I got a bad habit. I start yawning when I get on, start recording. I don't know why. Um, but yeah, it's got the 430 under the hood, big motor, plenty of power. I don't know if the air condition works. I believe these are AC lines. It's kind of unique. This is a really unique setup. These things are just ugly as sin, but they're just, I mean, they're unique. I mean, it's definitely unique. If you want to stand out, it's hard to stand out at a car show for 10 grand and look that good, guys. So, even, if you can get it for 8, that's where I'd like to be on this one. And I'd feel comfortable listing this at 12.5. Um, yeah, and you probably have to sit on it a while because they're ugly. But if you want something unique for the summer and enjoy this thing and just have something different than anybody else, that'd be your ride. All right, next one. Okay, normally I'm not into these mid 70s cars. 75 Mercury Grand Marquis. These are usually though 429 cars, and this is he doesn't say what it is. The keys are missing, but he does have, I believe he does have the title on this one. Yeah, title in hand on this one. Just been sitting there. He doesn't know why it doesn't run anymore, if I remember right. Oh, it needs an oil pan. That's what it was. But a little bit of rust starting here, but this looks like it can be cleaned up. This can all be power washed off, and I believe you can save this and make this a really presentable car. Not bad if you want to. If you're on the broke side or looking for something under $1,000 to start flipping, that's not too bad. I'd offer him $500 if it was me, and walk away and list that thing for clean it up, get it running if you can. Why is the oil pan off? That's that'd be an unusual question. But even if it has a bad motor in it, you could probably list this for $1,500 cleaned up and still get it. If you can get the motor running, and maybe it was just a bad oil pump or something like that, get the motor running. It's usually a 429, and then sky's the limit on that. You probably ask 4,500 for it running and driving. All right, maybe even 5,500. Okay, so this one was unique. This one was at a dealership, I believe. Yeah, Mohammed Go Green. I don't know. These dealerships, you gotta be careful on these. But look at this, guys. This is a 2-door convertible, kind of unique. I think he's a little bit high, but I don't think he's. If it was me selling this car, I'd be at the 10 grand mark. So, any of these 2-door convertibles, 70s cars are going, for anywhere between 8 and 12 grand. So if you can pick this thing up on the low side at 8, listed at 12, you can make quick 4 grand on it. But you got this filler in here. This is what I'd use to talk him down. I'd say, look, man, the body filler's gone. The top isn't in perfect shape, and he probably picked this thing up for 3 grand. Offer him, 6 and see what happens. But you can always go up. You can't go down. But look at the dash. No cracks on the dash. This is really clean. Actually, it's a really good shape, guys. Same with the interior. No rips in the tears in the interior. The interior's really good shape. I think if this was presented a little bit better, not at a car dealership for one, and fix the body filler on this, maybe list this in a Buick club, a Facebook club or something like that. I bet you get at least 10 grand for it. So if you can get it for 8 out the door, you can make 2 grand on it pretty quick. But anyway, either way, I think there's some room on this one, and it'd be fun driver. This is a 455. These are going to have 455s in them. Just a big old honker of a motor, and just a fun cruiser. You want to make a road trip to Vegas or something and come back and then sell it, you could do that. 65,000 original miles, guys. Not too bad. Yeah, I think there's room on this one. I don't know why. I don't know why this episode is the Ugly Ducklings, but you got some unique ugly ducklings here. All right, so next one here. This one is a running and driving, believe it or not, 66 Merc 2-door bench seat car with a 289 and a 4-speed. for $22.50. Got a little bit of rust in the back quarters. Interior's a little bit rough. I would definitely put a new windshield in it. But you should be able to get cleaning this thing up and making it a running driving car. It'd be $4,500 to $5,500. Just the way it sits, just cleaned up, and fixing a few things here, and making it a good running driver. So he's at 2250. I'm sure he'd take $2,000. Offer him $2,000, and away you go. There's a good flip for you guys. You can easily double your money on that one. All right, next one. Okay, so while listening to Jay Leno's gosh, Ted Gummit, he got me. He mentioned Packard, and I forgot about Packard, and I haven't looked up Packard, so I did a search for Packard, and I came across this beauty. I cannot believe how beautiful this car looks. Look at those lines, guys. This is a beautiful car for $10,000. Mercury Clipper 6. I believe this is their lower end model. It's not going to be worth a whole heck of a lot, but it's got to be worth more than $10,000. Little bit of damage right here, but man, what a beautiful piece. And Jay Leno really turned me on these Packards because he talked about just how much they spent on quality builds, and you can definitely tell if you look closely. You can just see the quality here on these vehicles, guys. This is pretty impressive. And it would be cool. I wish he gave more information on it. I don't know if it runs and drives. I don't know what's going on with this thing, but you guys can reach out to this guy, Albuquerque. But $10,000 for a nice running two-door like this would be amazing deal, guys. I looked them up, and they're selling anywhere between like 12 for a rough one that runs and drives. What I mean by that, and then up to 25. So I still think there's room on this to be making something, and it would be something so fun and unique to drive around for a little while. Look at that. That thing is just gorgeous. In my opinion, look at those lines. That is just one beautiful car. Anyway, check it out, guys. Like I said, Jay Leno turned me on to those Packards after I watched his show on these Lincolns, and and he mentioned Packards in there. Okay, all right. I saved this one more for me than anybody else. This one isn't probably. Yeah, I don't know. You're probably not gonna make much money on this one. I saved this one because this is the exact car that I met my wife in. I had a 78 Z28. And anyway, brought back memories. But I will tell you this, in all fairness, actually, now that I remember this ad, there might be some money to be made on this one. So it has right here, read this. Has a lot of new parts, including radiator, water pump, or fuel tank and pump, plugs, wires, mufflers, seat upholstery, front and rear carpet, headliners. So he's done a ton. Dash, tail lights, blah, 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 front kick panels, rebuilt, doors and weather strippings all done. Okay, well, yeah, actually there is some money to be made on this one, man. I forgot about all that. Okay, so there is a slight dent in the quarter panel. That can be pulled out and fixed. Okay, so a paint job on one of these is about $5,000, and he's asking $5,500. That puts you at $10,000 on this car, and I think on the low side, they're around $14,000-15,000 for just a nice driver, and going all the way up to $25,000 for one that's in really nice shape. He has done some, I believe he did some suspension work. He says in here there is only one small spot of rust, which is nothing. You could fix that really quick before you do the paint job. So yeah, actually there is money to be made on this one. I did save it for nostalgia purposes just to see how long it would last. It's been on there 9 weeks. You may be able to talk this guy down to $4,000, $4,500, but if you did a good quality paint job and made it a nice driver, with the rebuilt motor. See, that was the other thing I was really surprised. Look at this, man. It's got the original intake. So so if you start chasing somebody that is looking for originality, I would maybe put I would put the air condition back together on this car. and get the air conditioning working and get a nice paint job on it and just make it a nice driver. And you could ask 15 grand for that. So the seats are in good shape, just dusty. That just needs detailed out, guys. Just detail this out. Interior's in good shape. You can see there's no cracks on the dash or anything like that. So actually, there is money to be made on that one. All right. Let's see, next one. Okay, so here's another one. Look at this. Okay, so this is throttle body injected, 350, and it is a center bolt valve cover. So this is a late model 350, and it's in a 74 Jimmy. And the reason why the 74 Jimmy is interesting is because that was the full top removal on these. These are the most sought after Blazers besides the 70, 72, that body style. But this is one of the most sought after ones in the square body because of the full top comes off. And so these are more desirable. He does say the bodywork sucks. Sloppy bodywork is the reason why he's pricing it so low. I think you could probably offer him 35 and get it. And first thing I would do is rip this ugly bumper and push guard off, get rid of all that crap, put a factory bumper back on it, and just clean it up. Clean up the interior. I'm not sure what the heck all this nonsense is. I'd get rid of all this. I'd put the automatic back on the column. A person looking for 74 with a solid, or can't even talk tonight, with the full top is somebody that wants to make this original. You can pull the door panel off and knock this dent out and just clean up the interior, guys, and make this a nice presentable driver. I would get rid of these seats and I'd try to find some originals. But these things are going for 10 grand running and driving in good and decent shape. They're going for like 25 grand if they're like really nice. So I mean, if you really want to put some money into this, you could definitely do that as well. But there's definitely room here, especially if you can get it at 3,500. But I would fix all this crap. I'd put the automatic back on the column. I'd fix this dash. I don't know why this dash is popping out like this. Take the CB radio out. Get rid of all this crap. Just clean it up and make it more original looking. Would help a lot. Get rid of this shifter. Get rid of these seats, put the originals back in it. You can find those around. Like I said, the person that's going to be looking for this thing is going to be somebody that wants an original one. When I say that and then I point at the motor. Original-ish. They're going to want something that looks good, but they like the reliability. There's nobody that I know of that would frown on having a throttle body injected Blazer because that's just diehard reliable. They ran great. You could easily swap it, put a carb on it if they really wanted to. Anyway, that being said, I think this one's in the money. I think there's room to be made on that one. All right, next one. Let's see what this is. I can't remember. I was torn on this one. So I went ahead and put this one on there because it is 6 grand. It's okay miles. It is a manual transmission, which is sought after. Unfortunately, it's a V10, but it is clean, guys. It is clean. Look at that. That's pretty clean. So, I don't know. 6 grand. I'm torn. I think I saved this one more to just see if it would actually sell than it was to show you guys. Sorry about that. I really wanted to just keep an eye on this one and see how fast it would sell because a V10 is not near as desirable. But here's what's nice about. What's nice about the V10 is it's the same bell housing as the new 7.3 Godzilla. So if somebody wanted to put a 7.3 Godzilla in an older truck and have themselves a real workhorse, there you go. I'm not a fan of these V10s. I never have been. I don't feel like they've made much power. I think they were kind of gutless. That's just my opinion. But some people like them. Some people swear by them. Let them have them. If you can flip it real quick, flip it real quick. But you might want to be able to talk this guy down. If you can talk this guy down to 5 grand, 5,500. and then sell it for 7,500. I mean, you're making quick $2,000, and I think that's okay. I think you can do that. The Yeah, I don't think that you can go wrong on a four-wheel drive running and driving with a six-speed. If you wanted to keep it and really make it a really cool truck, like I said, me personally, I'd do a Godzilla motor in it, and sell it for 20 grand or something. Um, but yeah, it'd be a beast at that one. But like I said, that wouldn't be my go-to, gotta purchase kind of truck. But if you like them, there they are. Um, okay, so this one is a strong running 460. This is again the 97 with a short bed. So these are getting hard to find, guys. People are gonna. I'm telling you, within the next 10 years, these are going to be so super sought after because they didn't make very many of these, and they're limited run. So anyway, 460, 6 grand. You can probably talk them down to five. I bet you can talk this guy down to five on this one. And if you can get it for five, I think that put a headliner in it. You'd be in a headliner with $500 at the most. So you'd be in at 5,500. There'd be some other things in there. So you'd be in it at 6 grand. You could probably ask 7,500 for it. So you're not gonna make a whole lot on this one. 15, 2 grand, somewhere in there. $1,500, 2 grand. If you wanted to flip it now, but honestly, this is one of those that I would probably buy and hold. I would just park it in the garage. All right, and last but not least, this was a good one. This one popped up. Right at the last minute, guys. This is way too cheap for a 77 Highboy. Let's see here. 3-speed with granny, 4-wheel drive. Let's see here. Good locking hubs, brand new tires. He did put brand new tires on this thing, guys. This is, I bet he has got over 6 grand. I guarantee, if it was me, I'd list this thing at 6,500. I think he's too cheap on this. $3,500. I'd offer him 3 grand real quick, cash in hand. Just walk down there and say, "Hey, here's 3 grand," and if he takes it, boom, you're golden. So I believe he's got some extra parts in the bed. Interior just needed some, new dash pad. Fix this stuff up, guys. This guy trying to sell this thing like this is just ridiculous. Clean all this stuff out. Get rid of all this. You can find the door panels super cheap, $50 a piece. I mean, you could get this for 3 grand and put $500 in it at most. Get rid of the wires hanging and all this garbage. At most, you put $500 in it, and so in a couple of afternoons, and you can make this a $6,500 truck. He's definitely underpriced on that one. All right, guys, those are my calls for this episode. Oh man, I went over a little while, but anyway, if you guys are looking for anything, like I said, feel free to post in the comments, and I'll put it in my search. And subscribe, guys. Come on now, I found you some good deals out there. Some of them weren't, but some of them are good deals. Some of these things are, they sell when they're good deals, or they sell quick. So anyway, like and subscribe. That way, you'll be notified on the next post, so you can see these deals as quick as they come out. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later. I'll talk.